Welcome to Shreveport Bossier Local Lens, the podcast dedicated to sharing the stories of the people making a difference in the Shreveport Bossier community. Hosted by Jeremy Sutton, each episode dives deep into inspiring conversations with local leaders, creators, and change makers who bring unique perspectives and positive impact to our area. Hey everybody, welcome to the Shreveport Bossier Local Lens podcast. I'm your host, Jeremy Sutton. I'm here with my friend Amanda Cruse of Manna House and Clint Davis Counseling and all the good things. So we're going to be talking about what?
Manna horse.
Manna horse. I said Manna house. See? Don't have to be nervous. I'm going to mess it up.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, I love it. All right. Hey everybody, welcome to the Shreveport Bossier Lens local pod. I can't remember what this is called now. You messed me up. All right. Hey everybody, welcome to the Shreveport Bossier Local Lens podcast. I'm your host, Jeremy Sutton. I'm here with my friend Amanda Cruse. We're going to be talking about Manna horse and the work she does in the community as a counselor with Clint Davis Counseling. So Amanda, thanks for joining me.
Absolutely. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, so let's just talk about why you became a counselor in the first place. Let's talk about that.
Oh wow, I that answer goes back to like 1988. So maybe I should go back. Right. Always interested in psychology, sociology, interested in people, but I just couldn't I couldn't go into the field back then when I was getting my undergraduate. Fast forward a few years, I've had life experiences and done things and actually had some trauma. And oddly enough, one of the big reasons I'm a counselor is because I had bad counseling. I had a very, very bad experience following a traumatic event where I wasn't seen or heard by the person that was supposed to help me. And it was super hard to ask for help.
Right. So
I have a lot of compassion for people that are suffering and want help, and I also respect how hard it is to even take that first step, pick up the phone, make the phone call, go see this person that you don't know.
Right.
Especially when you're already feeling really broken and sad and hurt and whatever has happened has happened.
Yeah, I mean, I go to counseling once a month, have for 4 or 5 years now. Mm-hmm. I went more than that for the first year or so, but like I remember talking and they're, like nobody really wants to come. This is not something you want to be. Like I'm a physical therapist. Nobody really wants to be in physical therapy for an hour of their day. It's just not something that you look forward to, but something that's needed. It's not something that's taboo or something to be shameful for. But if you're going, you need to be heard and you need to be helped. Yeah. So I love that's kind of what got you into it. I hurt myself playing football in high school, and I wanted to be an engineer before that, which I had no idea what an engineer did. But then I was like, I went to PT, and I was like, oh, this was really cool. So that's kind of how I got into it. So I like that. It probably means more to you and gives you maybe a different lens to look through when you've gone through something traumatic, and then the person you went to for help didn't help you, and now you're doing that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Like there are things that were definitely done wrong in my situation that I will never do in counseling, and I don't even like to think about it. It was awful. And then, and that was, I was 25 when that happened. It was a whole lot of years before I actually did go to school to be a counselor.
Yeah. And
I had a couple other careers that I worked at. If you can call working at the casino a career.
Sure.
That was one. And that's where I was at that time.
Uh-huh. And
then I was a nail tech for 14 years. I call that my starter counseling career.
Yeah. What did you do there?
I did nails.
Oh, you were a nail tech. I thought you said a nail tech. Oh, nail tech.
Nail technician.
Yes.
I did fingernails.
All right.
And I had a lot of the same clients the whole 14 years, which was cool because you really got to know each other. And they got vulnerable. And prior to that, I probably really couldn't chit chat. Like I didn't know how.
Right.
I wasn't interested in it. At the casino, it was no fun chit chatting with customers. Unfortunately, I hate to say that, but when I transitioned to be a nail tech, I had to kind of grow those skills, and I did. And 2 of my customers were in the mental health field, and I was really interested in what they were doing. Got to talking to them, and one of the counselors one day, I was really serious. I was digging in. I was like, okay, so how do I do what you do?
Yeah.
And she said, well, you have to go to school, and she had a PhD. I was like, out. I mean,
Yeah.
maybe, I don't know. At that time, I was like,
Yeah.
She said, well, you have to get a master's. And I was like, ooh, that sounds hard. She said, well, classic counselor, it doesn't hurt to do a little research.
Right.
So I went home that day, got my laptop out, and looked it up. Okay, I can go to school at Louisiana Tech. I can go to LSU. It's going to take how long? It's going to cost, oh my gosh, how much? It's funny because I'm not a very decisive person typically, but in that moment I said, nope. I remember it so well. I closed my laptop, set it down beside me where it went, and just went back to whatever it was I was doing for fun, watching TV or, I said no, and every day for the next 3 days, it kept coming up. Over and over again. And the clincher was at church that Sunday. I was serving on the media team, and I was a substitute. It's not like I did it every day. Right. It just happened to be that Sunday. I'm on the media team. The sermon was titled "The Right Word at the Right Time," all about counseling.
Yeah.
And so not only did I get to put the notes in and hear all this stuff, then I got to hear it in the sermon too, and it was straight to me. And so afterwards, I was just like, okay, guess what? Yeah. Hi, honey, my husband.
Yeah.
He's so supportive. And I'm like, I'm going to go to school to be a counselor. He's like, what?
Yeah.
And that led to a hard few years that were so interesting and filled with so much growth for me.
Yeah. How old were you when you went back to school, if you don't mind asking?
I do mind.
Well, tell me anyway. I'm just kidding.
47,
40?
Maybe?
Yeah.
I was well into my 40s.
Yeah.
When that happened.
Well, that's awesome, though. I mean, I ask you that because that's a huge deal.
Absolutely.
Like, I'm 44 right now, and I just...
You could start a new career
I don't want to. Well, 2 years ago, I was going to become a counselor because I was like, I love talking.
Yeah.
I mean, I just love to talk to people. And after going through trauma and going to counseling, I'm like, well, physical therapy is just an offshoot of that anyway. Yeah. And so I started, and then I realized, like, I've already spent hundreds of thousands of dollars being a PT. I'm just not happy where I'm doing it. Ooh. And so now what I'm doing, I love. Concierge physical therapy. It's great. I love it. I never want to do anything else. If this continues to work and God continues to bless me, then that's what I want to do. But I mean, just thinking about studying, because I did 2 classes in the counseling, and I took 3 tests. I made 2 A's and a B, and I was like, I studied, why am I making B's? But it's a totally different thing when you go back later.
It is, and I had to take the GRE. Mm-hmm. I mean, it had been 25 years since I got my undergraduate degree, and so I had to take the GRE and fill out an application and go get accepted, like do the interview process. It was so bizarre.
I love that.
But it was fun. It was weird and and I can honestly say that that's the best thing I've ever done.
Yeah, absolutely.
In my life. Like, I know I'm walking in step with what I'm supposed to do.
Sure.
And then I didn't even know equine assisted psychotherapy existed at the time. Like, just being a counselor fits me so well. And I love it. I can't imagine.
Because you had a history, you have been around horses your whole life.
I have, pretty much,
Okay. Well, tell us what that is, equine assisted.
Okay, that is, man, it's like my favorite thing in the world.
Good.
It is, and like I said, just becoming a counselor was a huge just step and transition for me. And when I was still in school when I first learned about equine assisted psychotherapy and equine assisted learning. We can call it EAP, equine assisted psychotherapy, or equine assisted learning. Equine assisted is EAL. And they're like 2 sides of the same coin. One's clinical, one's non-clinical, basically, is the difference. But those equine services are not available in our area. Right. So I heard about them. I was actually working as a certified therapeutic riding instructor. And that is therapeutic riding. That's adaptive riding. That's probably what most people think of when I say equine assisted
like
therapy.
hippotherapy?
Yes. Hippotherapy is the clinical version of adaptive riding.
Gotcha.
And there are currently, I believe, 3 organizations in this area that do therapeutic riding or adaptive riding.
Gotcha.
That is not what I do.
Okay.
Those are not focused on mental health.
Okay.
Those are focused on children and adults with disabilities, and they're doing great work, and they have great results. But when you shift the focus to mental health and learning, it's a little bit different, because traditional horsemanship is based on kind of a domination and control model. The horse has choices, but we have the answers.
Right.
They don't have a choice. They're expected to do what we ask them to. And just, if I fast forward, and to give an analogy, this is the easiest way I can do it. If I take a person who is a victim of abuse, and I say, okay, we're going to go work with these horses, and you're going to tell this horse, do this, do this, do this, and even if you do it in the nicest way, you're just moving them from the victim to the perpetrator. And that came up. We started the EAL program, and so it's really important what modality you use. And traditional horsemanship is great. It doesn't damage horses for the most part, but it does take away their autonomy. They don't get to make a lot of choices in it, and they kind of the horses that we use sometimes for therapeutic riding, they have to be what they call bomb-proof. They have to be able to take a lot of dysregulation and take that on and not respond to it. Which, as I say that out loud now, I'm like, wow, that's exactly what trauma is.
Right, yeah.
Right? It's being in the presence of a person who is dysregulated. And even if they're not directly abusing us, if you have to shut yourself off from that dysregulation, it takes a toll on our nervous system.
Absolutely.
And so, anyway, that I don't even remember what the question was.
Yeah, I don't either. No. What is it? What are you doing with the horses?
So you start a relationship. You create a relationship with the horse that is equal, as best as we can make it equal. So the horse actually has choices. You ask permission. You ask permission by holding your hand out or approaching the horse, or it's much easier to explain with a horse.
Why don't we have a horse?
I tried.
We should have done this outside. It's my fault. Go ahead.
I definitely wanted a horse in this. If not just for anything, just to make it easier for me to talk about. But they give consent by touching you. Right. They touch you, and then it's like, that's the okay to touch them. But we're always going to ask for consent again. Think about dogs. We just pet them, and you don't even think about it because you know they want you to pet them. Or they maybe they don't. Yeah. So the process then is helping the person tune into themselves so they can feel what's happening in the relationship with the horse. Because the horse can't tell them, oh, hey, don't, scratch my ear. They can't say that. They don't have the words. So sometimes the horse can be trying to show them what they want, and the person isn't getting it at all because they're not tuned in. They're just like rubbing, I'm just going to pet this. Oh, this feels good. And they'll be talking to me and petting the horse, and I'll have to say, hey, can we just pause for a second? What does that horse think about what you're doing? And they're like, oh, he likes it. I'll say, are you, okay, well, are you sure? How do you know that? And then we start talking about the nuances of what the horse is communicating. It's hard to describe because it's really heavy. It can be heavy, deep work. And progress is made as people connect with themselves. And very rarely do I ever have a session that somebody isn't surprised. Yeah. And I wish I could give you a list. Okay, we do this, and we do this, and we do this. It doesn't work that way. Yeah. It's like counseling. We come out, we're going to talk about, okay, what are your goals? What is your goal today? And a goal for a typical client for me is I keep having these big reactions in conversations with my husband, and all of a sudden I'm blowing it, or I'm having these big reactions with my kids, and it comes out of nowhere. I don't know where it comes from. And with the horses, we can help slow that down to where they can actually connect to themselves and find where it's coming from. You can't fix something if you don't know what it is or where it's coming from. The horses show up all the time. They know what we're feeling before we know it. And I never know. I don't even try to get in their lane anymore.
Yeah.
I just let them do whatever. And they will stone cold ignore people when they're not present with themselves. And I have the delicate job of saying, well, do you think he knows you're there? And, that can go
a couple of ways.
That can go a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Tears is a common way that goes. Yeah. Because it brings up that feeling of not being seen.
Sure.
I mean, I feel like I'm talking a lot about.
No, I'm mesmerized by what you're saying. I'm just listening. I'm loving it because I think so. As you're talking about the horse like ignoring you, I'm thinking about my dad who passed away a few years ago, but he had cancer 14 years ago and had a boxer that was my favorite animal I've ever had. I felt like he was my son. Yeah. And he was living with my parents, and when my dad had cancer, that dog slept in front of his bedroom door every night. Wow. The dog's name was Cola. Cola slept in front of his door every night. He never did it before he had cancer. He never did it after his cancer went away. Yeah. He only did it while my dad had cancer. Yep. So how did he, he knew something was going on, right?
He knew.
Same thing with the horses.
100%.
They know.
They do.
And that's what I think. I told you before we started, I haven't been on a horse in 30 years. Mm-hmm. But one of the things the people that showed me how to ride when I was a teenager said, hey, they know if you're mad, they know if you're happy, they know if you're scared. So just try to relax. they feel whatever you're feeling. Yeah. So I'm like, okay, I'm good. Yeah. So, but it also, that's probably the most relaxing thing I've ever done in my life was ride a horse. Yeah. When it's not crazy. I wasn't on the side of some mountain. I was just riding. Because it's just you and another animal. And you just hear the horse breathing.
And you're doing it together. Yeah. Like y'all are doing that together. I will say, Jeremy, there is the part, and this is such a small piece, but it's a benefit that happens even if we go out there and stand with the horses and don't talk. It's called, I think it's heart math is the correct term, but I call it the what do I call it? The magic science. Yeah. The magic science of co-regulating with a horse. Mm-hmm. When, people do this, we co-regulate. Right, if you're around someone who's regulated, they can bring us into regulation. This is what momming is all about. Right. If you're a mama, you know how to take care of those. Are you a mom?
Yeah, well, I got one, and I'm married to one. Dads can't do that. Dads are like, oh, let's start off.
Well, I think it's harder sometimes for guys to do that.
I literally 2 nights ago jumped up in the air, turned a flip, and landed on my son in his bed at bedtime. So that I cannot regulate somebody. My wife's like, every night at bedtime, and I'm like, I know the kids. She's like, no, you and the kids. You start riling them up. And I'm like, I know. I'm sorry. I love you. But yeah, okay, go ahead. Sorry.
So now we're talking about co-regulation. Yeah. And so, the horses, we were talking about with people then. Right. With the horses, okay, what safety feels like in our body is slower breathing, a slower heart rate, and relaxed. Right. When we are physically present with the horses, their heart is bigger than ours, and our systems naturally regulate. Well, their heart rate and respiration is slower than ours. So it automatically brings down the nervous system. Right. Which also contributes to people being able to access those deeper parts and feel safe doing it. It's just like this beautiful magic cocktail.
It's like the horse is up there with your vagus nerve going.
Exactly. Just turning the dial down.
I love that. I love it. I believe it. I mean, I interviewed, Kevin, Warrior Horse.
Oh yeah, Kevin Russell.
Thank you, Kevin Russell. I love Kevin Russell. I jokingly told you this was going to take 3 hours today.
Yeah.
I did interview him for 3 hours.
Wow.
Because we just couldn't stop talking. Because I love horses too. We just couldn't stop talking about it. And that was years ago. And I cried. We both cried. I was like, stop crying. But it was just such a, and it was something I'd never heard of. So I'm a little, I guess abreast of it now. I've heard of it before. But I mean, just the stuff you're talking about, it's just amazing. Like, bring somebody out here that maybe you can't get through to them in the counseling office. And let's, put you around the horse. I went up to Benton, I was at Holly Hills, I think, to speak on concussions several months ago. Erin Woods invited me out there, and she said, "Here, I want you to meet my horse. I think her name's Sweetheart or Sweetie."
Oh yeah,
and so we were talking, and she said something. I was like, "I don't care what you do. I just want to pet the horse. Just leave me alone. I want to pet the horse."
Yeah.
Well, you haven't talked about. I'm not talking about concussions until I pet the horse. So she's like, "Do you want to ride him?" I was like, "No, I don't want to ride him. I just want to pet him." But you could feel like, oh, this feels so good. Yeah. And of course, I don't know what the science is.
You didn't know what the magic science was.
But now I do.
Now you know.
So that's awesome. Well, what are results you're seeing with that?
The results are interesting and also not always reportable because they're so deep.
Right.
People that get a better connection with themselves start to be able to trust themselves. They start to believe in themselves. They can go back to old narratives and old beliefs that were formed a long time ago during times that they can't even talk about. And they can start to change those beliefs. I think if I think about outcomes, being more present is one. I do an exercise often that is, let's create an anchor point for you. And we do it using the magic science. We get with the horse and we talk through the thoughts, the feelings, the sensations, what it feels like to be calm, what it feels like to feel safe. And then I tell them, look, this is an anchor point. If you're struggling and you need it, I want you to think about what this horse's hair felt under your fingers, what the weather was like, what it looked like. You literally paint a picture of that moment in time so they have it to go back to. I'm all about equipping people and giving them tools. So we talk about all the things, and it's wild because with the horses, all the things come up. So other outcomes. Let's see, what else do people say? That first, I don't know if you noticed it or not, but just driving out here is pretty peaceful.
Oh, I was like thinking about putting a trailer beside, your house. I'm like ready to move in. I see, because I grew up in the country, so any winding road and shade, and then I saw the horses, and I'm like, I'm sold. Let's go.
Yeah. So
it is very relaxing coming out.
So it's respite.
Yeah.
It's like just a time for your whole being to take a break, put everything on pause. And I tell people all the time, right now, we don't have to worry about any of those things. Just be in this moment. And that's another huge thing that the horses do for people who like to get stuck in their heads. You can go there, but you don't stay there long with the horse because the horse is going to bring you back to it. They might even just really nudge you and say, hey, what are you doing? They,
I love it. So what Manna Horse, what is that? Is that business, 501c, what we got?
So Manna Horse, okay, so I've been doing this through Clint Davis Counseling, and I've partnered with, we were doing an EAL program, Equine Assisted Learning, which is the non-clinical version.
Right.
We were doing that at GREAT, which is a division of the ARC Caddo-Bossier, which is a nonprofit.
Right.
And we did that for a couple of years. We got our participants from Volunteers for Youth Justice, from the Hub Urban Ministries Purchase Program, and had great results with that. But that's not their mission. Mental health is not their mission. Right. So we stopped doing that in 22 or 23. And I've been seeing people individually out here. in partnership with Clint Davis Counseling, and also able to partner with House of Grace, and there was one more, Northwest Louisiana Family Justice Center.
Okay.
I partnered with them in the office as well. But the partnerships are to provide access to people.
Right.
Because this, like, I could, and the truth is, I can do what I'm doing right now for the rest of my life and be perfectly happy.
Yeah.
I work out here 2 days a week. I'm in the office 3 days a week. It's a great life. But the access for people in this area to get equine assisted therapy is like this big. Like I by myself as an individual, I can only see a few people every week. I don't have the capacity, and if I switch, then I'm losing money because working with the horses is way more expensive than working with just sitting in the office and having people come one after the other. Yeah. And so I wrestled with that, and I feel like God had the answer all along. It just took me a while to get here. I had to create a whole nother business called Counseling Cowgirl Equine Services. When he put Manna Horse on my mind back in 2021 or 22, like I had the name, I had the vision, I knew what it was supposed to be. Why I had to go the other route? I'm human and I'm stubborn, so there we are. But now I've really doing what I'm supposed to be doing, and that's making it a nonprofit so that we can get help to cover the expenses and make it accessible. Most programs with equine assisted services are nonprofit for that reason, because I hate to say it's not profitable, but it's kind of not profitable.
Is that something that insurance cover either?
They do not.
Because it's helpful. That's why they don't cover it.
Currently, it works too fast.
It works too good. That's why they don't cover it. That's so funny. Well, I love that. My brain just stopped working.
It's okay. I can talk some more.
Keep talking.
Okay. So, and the VA actually, and I'm so proud of it, for a government entity to be on the cutting edge of healing. But the Veterans Administration has really done a lot of research into equine assisted therapy, and they have proven it's effective. Yeah. And they're willing to use it. Right. But without having those contacts and those partnerships, and again, it's just me right now. Mm-hmm. I do have Manna Horse now. We're in our first. This is like 4 or 5 months. Like, we're brand new. Yeah. We're brand new, which is so exciting. I have a board, and we have to start fundraising, and the goal is to grow into a facility that can handle a lot more capacity, not just availability. Because right now, it's available, but it is expensive. Yeah. It's just an expensive service to provide. Right. It's not expensive because I want it to be expensive.
Right, because you got to feed horses.
Yeah, you got to feed horses. You have to have the space. Yes. You have to have a covered area. You have to have insurance.
I'll bet you.
You got to have so much insurance, and then the insurance companies don't cover.
That's right.
that. And so it has to be a nonprofit, and now it is.
So how do people find? Not how do people find out about it, because we know how people find out about things, but how do they get from, hey, I have a problem, to you? Like, does the doctor have to send them? Do they, how does that happen?
No, not at all. I mean, you can be referred. Me personally, I'm trying really hard to partner with local therapists and local social workers so that they know the resources here, and they can send people that it would be good. The ideal situation, I think, for us at Manna Horse is if you have a therapist and you can't get to those places in therapy. Right. You keep seeing your therapist and come here for an EAL group. And we can work on those skills pieces, like the relationship skills and the regulation skills. And, communication is a huge benefit of working with the horses, because most people think communication is talking. That's only like 20% of it. Yeah. Right? Yeah. It's listening too. Yeah. We have 2 ears and 1 mouth, right?
I think I have 2 mouths.
But we use our eyes and our bodies, and I love teaching people how to listen with their body. I'm no expert, right? But I know you have to do it. Yeah. And sometimes what you need is the opportunity for things to slow down enough to get that opportunity. And then you take those gains into your relationships. Most of the EAL classes that I lead are, we call them relationship skills classes. And it's really teaching us through relationships with horses how to relate with other people and how to relate with ourselves, how to connect with ourselves.
Now you're talking about classes. So when people come, do you do group sessions or is it one-on-one?
I can do group sessions. Currently, I'm doing really small groups now. The program we had before was out at Greenwood. It was groups, and we would typically have 5 to 8 in a group. I love doing group classes, but we need more equines to do that. We need more space. Again, back to the growth period. Yeah. That's why we shifted to Manna Horse. And that was an important question that you asked. Mannahorse.org is our website.
Yeah, we're going to get to that.
Yeah, okay, good.
We're getting to that. I wasn't going to leave you without letting you say that. That's awesome. I love it. I think, one, I love horses. I don't want to own one, but I do love them. Mm-hmm. I want to be around as much as I can. I just don't want to take care of them. So I love what you're doing. And I'm immediately thinking of 3 or 4 people that I know that I'd be like, oh man, including myself. I'd love to be like on top of the horse and be like, tell me what you want me to show me, horse. Yeah. But I love what you're doing here. You're obviously passionate about it. You know, it's a good thing for the community. I think that's one thing is we have a great community here, Shreveport, Bossier City, Houghton, Benton area, and we do have people like you and myself and Clint and Kevin and all these people that want to help, but sometimes it's just hard for people to know where we are, who we are, how to get to us and things like that. So I love it.
And I'm learning that marketing is not my strong suit.
Yes.
I would much rather be one-on-one with people out in the pasture and a few horses doing that. Like that is what I'm passionate about. All these other pieces are hard for me. And you know, you said something, Jeremy. I think I need to clarify also. We typically don't ride. Like the sessions are unmounted.
Right.
Everything happens from the ground unless, and this is what I tell people this all the time, unless the horse invites you to ride. And they will.
Really?
Yes. If you get, we set a vision, we set the goal. Like because I have people come all the time, I want to ride. Okay, you can ride. When your relationship gets to the point that horse says, yes, I want you to ride. And they say, well, how will I know that? Well, there's a mounting block right there. If he walks over to that mounting block and then looks back at you and looks and stands there and then looks at his back and looks at you and stands there, then you know he wants you to ride.
Right.
And it sounds crazy, but I've had a horse do it.
Wow.
Yeah.
I love that.
It's pretty intense. Pretty cool. And when you're riding with no, I probably shouldn't even say this out loud.
Don't say it out loud.
There's nothing.
You're just on the horse.
You're connected.
Right.
And the horse has agency and you have agency, and it's beautiful to be in connection that intimately.
All I can think about is the cartoon Spirit, where he's just on top of the horse riding.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
just as fast as he can, not holding on to anything.
Yes.
So I love it.
It's cool.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I think what you're doing is amazing, and I love it. You know, and something you talked about, you know, marketing not being your strong suit. So I have a 501c3, and I don't know if I'm going to continue with it or not. Mm-hmm. But one of my favorite scriptures is don't let your right hand know what your left hand's doing, because it really upsets me when people are telling me about all the awesome things they're doing. Mm-hmm. But when you own a charity or when you're starting something, you have to talk about it.
Yeah.
You have to say, hey, this is why we're here. This is what we're helping. And it's uncomfortable for me. It's uncomfortable for you, but you have to do it.
But we need money.
Yeah.
That's the reality of it. We need funding to provide the service. Mm-hmm. And yeah.
So, well, what you're doing here is amazing. It's a beautiful place. The horses look great. Tell us how to contact you or find out more.
Okay, probably the best way to contact me is Amanda at mannahorse.org. Just email me. We have a phone number, but I'm not in love with it yet. So it might, I don't know, but it's on the website. You can find the phone number on the website. Currently, Google calls me about 50 times a day. So that's why I say, I'm probably not going to answer the phone, but I don't know. It's not a real phone because I can't afford to have a whole new phone and iPhone, and I don't want to carry two phones either. So that would be the contact piece. I would say email is probably best.
Okay, mannahorse.org is the website. Yep. In beautiful sunny Houghton, Louisiana. Today. And it is beautiful out here today. It is. May not be tomorrow. So, Amanda, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thanks for listening to Shreveport Bossier Local Lens. Be sure to subscribe, rate, and share the podcast to help us spread the word about the amazing people in our community.